Hey, hi guys.
I know it's been a while, but we're back. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jamila, also known as the Winged Alchemist. I am a mindset and inner alchemy coach, but I only come to YouTube to talk to the YouTube family every once in a blue. But I do have something really exciting that's going to be released. It's a partnership. Um, that I'll actually be releasing to you guys next week because that's when marketing around it starts happening and getting that information out to you. That's when we're scheduled to do that. But hi guys, it's really great to be here. Um, there are so many different reasons as to why I wanted to go live, but what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is really a dream that I had. So, actually, let me drink some water. So, I actually had a dream last week that really left me with goosebumps, and I felt like when I returned back to this YouTube space and going live and kind of leading with my heart and just going with what higher self, source really wants me to share, this dream was definitely it, and it's based around those of you, including myself, that have been experiencing major resistance um, in your life, whether it's internal resistance, external in relationships, whatever. But we'll get into it after I tell you about this dream. So, the dream took place, I believe it was the night before or the night of the full moon last week. And I went to sleep and immediately I fell into this dream where I was just running, okay? I was running, I was fighting, I just felt like I had used so much energy. So just to kind of paint the picture, I was at this huge hotel. It was myself and I was with two other people. These two people, I don't know who they were specifically, but they felt like family. And we found ourselves just in this position where we were running from what I'm going to call like people that looked like the Men in Black or like um, the Men in Black in the Matrix. Like they were dark, they were dressed dark, but they were able to move. When I say like Japanese spies, it felt like that's how they were able to move because no matter where we ran, they were there. Ran into the room, they were there. Ran downstairs, they were there. Ran into a boat, got on the water that happened to be like in the backyard of this hotel, they were there. Got in the water, they were there. It was like couldn't run from them. And I just remember we left the hotel and we were walking up the street and for a split moment these like Men in Black people were not there. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, yo, I'm tired. I am so tired of running away from these people. Like, it's taking a lot of energy having to run from one place to the next. I tuned into my body and I just felt so tense and out of breath and just done. Like, I was even like, F this shit, like, in my dream, okay? And so in that moment, I was like, oh, we looked down yonder, like far ahead, and there happened to be this house. And I thought to myself, okay, if we can get to this house and close up this house, um, maybe we can be safe, right? Thinking just a little level above the previous level that I was thinking before. So this time I was like, okay, I want to get to this house, but I want to get to this house with minimal effort because your girl is tired. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of spending my energy and just wasting it. So, in that moment when the desire, like I just fully held that desire and I feel like I released it to my higher self, and immediately I remembered, like, this idea came to me, and it was like, oh, you don't have to use your legs to run there. Let's just fly. Let's just fly. And if you've been following me for a while, then you know, like, I'm sure I've shared a dream or two in the past where I most definitely fly in my dreams. But in this moment, I was like, okay, path of least resistance to get however far this house was, like some miles down the road, would be to fly. So I immediately jumped up because I remembered that this is something that I can do, and I started flying. Now, the two people who were with me, it was like this activation of the 4 minute mile, because once they saw that I was flying, they were like, like we can fly, right? So then they figured it out and figured out how to fly and follow me to this house. So, get to the house, and first thought is board up the house, close the doors, lock the windows. So we start running to lock these windows and to close up the house. And of course, Men in Black entered in from upstairs because we didn't get upstairs yet. Nonetheless, they found us where we were. And I remember running into a closet thinking I can hide from them, but they knew exactly where I was, and they were like, really and truly, they weren't doing anything, but I was just so afraid. I was so afraid of these Men in Black, right? So I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this ish. Like, not only am I tired of running, I'm tired of fighting these people. So in that moment, again, I was like, okay, higher self, make these people disappear. And I remember getting the idea of, okay, if you want to make them disappear, you have to face them. So what I did was I created this window through the door so I can see them directly. Not only did I see them, but I focused my eye on them I was projecting my consciousness straight to them with the thought of disappear. And then this other idea came to me, and it was like, whatever energy that they're spewing at you, absorb it, and then send it back right at them. And when you send it back to them, they will disappear. And that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. And I was like, I wasted, and then I woke up. And I woke up kind of mad at myself because I was like, Jamila, why did we waste the whole night running when we could have just tuned into higher self, received the idea, and then took the path of least resistance to get you to really what you're trying to experience in the first place, right? What you're trying to experience is freedom from this resistance, freedom from fear, right? And all I was doing in the beginning was running off of that fear, running off of this fact of, oh no, this thing is happening and I'm trying to get away. But when I tuned into a higher self that can, really give you the cheat codes, because that's what I like to call it, give you the cheat codes to your reality and give you the idea that will bring you to where you're trying to get to faster than you would have if you continued on the same road. That's what I'm talking about. When you're tired of fighting, you will stop fighting. You will be so done with yourself from whatever that fighting is, whatever that resistance is. If you see me looking here, my computer's here, and I obviously made notes so I can stay on track because your girl is also cooking. But nonetheless, whether that resistance or the fighting is like fighting self-doubt, like that internal turmoil, the fears that you have, it can be very external. Maybe you're facing a challenge. For me, I work specifically with frustrated professionals that are tired of their status quo. They're tired of what they're experiencing in the moment, and they really want to change because they know they have more to offer, and they know what they're doing is not in alignment with what they want to be doing or what they feel they should be doing, right? So if you're facing challenges like in your profession or challenges in your relationship, whatever that is, how to stop fighting the thing that you're trying your hardest to resist is to tune into higher self. Now the question, I even made a note here because I know you guys are going to ask this. Well, how do you tune into higher self, or how do you put yourself in a state to where you're able to receive the intuitive guidance to the path of least resistance? It's honestly the easiest. It's the most simplest thing. The hardest part is slowing down and being able to tap into self-awareness in the moment, so that way you can decide differently. So how I do it, first of all, there are multiple ways. Now we're kind of getting into the meat and potatoes. There are multiple ways. If we think back to the beginning of the dream, again, I'm using this dream as, the metaphor, but whatever it is that you're experiencing, think about how tense you feel. Think about the emotions you're feeling. It's probably like winding up somewhere in your stomach. What is that emotion telling you? Oh, I'm not good enough, or oh, you have to be, whatever that emotion is telling you. Think about the stuff you feel like you have to force yourself to do, even though they don't align with your personal values. That's resistance to me, right? Just think about how much you're holding on, not only in your mind, but in your body. And I always say to people that I meet, because I work more either one-on-one or in groups here where I live in Ghana, but whenever I'm doing any classes at the beach, I'm always reminding people that there are 3 ways to move energy, and this is very, very, very important. The first way that we know is movement. The second way is sound, and the third way is breath. I'm reminding you of this because you have to be able to do something that helps you to pause, right? The moment when I was walking up the street and I was like, F this, or the moment I was in the closet and I'm like, yo, I'm in the closet, F this, I had to stop. I literally had to take a breath, and that breath took me out of this state that I was clinging to, which was, oh my gosh, I gotta get away from these people, I gotta hide from these people. Now, of course, there are many, many, many layers to break down and pull apart in this dream story that I'm telling you. So whatever comes to mind, comment. I'm gonna read your comments in the end, but definitely comment, because I think the best way to learn is through stories. It's how I learn the best, and whatever you're supposed to receive from this, just give gratitude and be obedient. Be obedient to the information or the inspiration that comes through this. Do the thing, okay? Whatever idea comes when you feel intuition nudging you, actually do that thing. Don't put it aside. And again, the dream, the story really expresses this as well, because when I had the idea to, okay, create a window, I didn't have time to hold on to fear to create the window to look at these people. You know what I mean? I didn't have time to think twice about what needed to be done. I just needed to do the thing. I just needed to do it. And that's the magic of it all. Nonetheless, where was I? Let's get back to it. So, moving energy in 3 ways. If you think about sound bowls, or you think about just things that get your body moving, or just instruments, why they're so powerful, it's because they help you to release, and not only release, but download or be open to higher frequency vibration. That is if you're listening to certain sounds, because different sounds can activate different things, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the basic three movements of 3 ways to move energy from your body. A lot of people are always like, you always look like you're just coasting through life. Like everything is so easy for you. Like, you don't, like you just da da da. And obviously not. Like life is life. There are always going to be challenges. But because I work in literally these 3 modalities, these 3 ways of moving energy into my daily life, it keeps me open to higher frequencies, and less in the fear mode, less in the self-doubt. Doesn't mean I don't have moments of self-doubt, but they're not so intense to where it turns into depression or, like high extremes of anxiety. I probably touched the higher ends of those things, and that's what, like I said, like again, we're not perfect. Everything we're experiencing kind of in octaves. So I'm going to say, in the octave of low frequency vibrations, I'm in the higher. I can reach the higher states. Still opportunities to transform self, and everyone is at different states and gets to different places. But again, the same things that I'm telling you here, moving your body, deepening your breath, and listening to sounds that uplift and help for you to release is super crucial and important. So I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a exercise, or if whoever's listening or whenever you're listening, if you're feeling tense about something in your life right now, I actually want you to think about what that thing is. Whatever that thing is, just think about it. Put your energy there. How does that thing feel in your body? That thing that bothers you, whatever it is. Again, it could be career. It could be that you're getting ready to release something and you're having a lot of resistance around that. It could be anywhere where you can feel a tightness somewhere or anywhere in your body. If you're tired of feeling this energy, this is when you start to breathe into that space. This is like the fastest and the easiest way to switch into a pair. Are y'all there? Is it gonna continue? Oh yes. Okay, sorry, I got a call. Damn, where was I? Okay, so you're feeling into this thing. The fastest thing that you can do in the moment is breathe. Is to just place your hand on your heart. You can place your hand on your womb. Place your hand wherever you feel that tightness, and just breathe into it. And it's so basic, but it's so powerful. I'll never forget this video that I came across. Like, one of the reasons why I loved studying Kemet is just learning some of the little details that they practice as a collective, like super deep stuff. But what I was saying was, when you take a deep breath, or when you tune into your breath, and like you create different breathing patterns with your breath, this is like probably the reason why I stay so light. Because I work this into my daily, like this is a practice that I do naturally every single day. Can't live without it, period. Because like, if you notice the thing that is bothering you, and then you tune into your breath and you breathe, that thing, the hold that it had on you dissipates. It dissolves. I like that word. It dissolves. It begins to dissolve. Not only does it begin to dissolve, but you begin to filter your reality through a whole different lens. You are seeing this thing not from I gotta run from it, I gotta resist it, but now you begin to see it like, okay, this is the thing, like it's not that big. It goes from being this to this. And when the idea comes and the idea to like how to navigate that thing comes, you're like, you do it, the thing just is so small that it's insignificant. And this is why I love metaphysics. This is why I love even things like The Matrix that tell a story of like metaphysics and what reality is and how to see it as like this programmable thing, or how to see yourself as this programmable instrument. I say that a lot also, because all it takes is being able to breathe, increase self-awareness, and then choose to see the reality differently. So whatever that thing is that you're seeing and you're running from and you're trying to avoid the obvious, breathe and look at the obvious and see how big that thing is. And when you say, okay, how should I proceed with this obvious thing in the best way possible to get me to a state where I'm no longer fighting, where I'm no longer resisting, where I'm open and I'm accepting and I'm open to receive like the blessings that come after this thing, from facing this thing. When you're guys, I'm getting used to being on live because I'm seeing my face, and I saw my face and it totally pulled me out of where I was at in my mind and what I was trying to explain to you. But tune into your breath, and do it in this way. Okay, here's how I do it. And again, this is like a mixture of, this is inner alchemy, basically. I'm not only just, breathing, but I'm almost drinking the air in and down my throat and into my kind of stomach and my lungs, or my belly and my lungs. It's like a drink. You want to see it coming in and going down. You want to see the chi coming into your body and expanding. You want to feel the expansiveness of that breath. You want to feel the breath move through your cells. Like, you want to feel that inhale as deeply as you can. And I don't just mean deep like you've breathed in so deep that you're like, that's not what I mean. I just mean you want to breathe that it's an experience, but I'm assuming you get what I'm saying. But yeah, once you drink that nourishing chi energy in, this like God force into your body, immediately things shift. And when you see it that way, the breath becomes deeper. If you're just like, okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath, that works too. But the slower and the more intentional you are about the breath, the more you're able to move into parallel universes. Now, the breath is the vehicle, but the mind or the imagination has to be paired with that. What parallel universe are you trying to move into? That's like super important as well. And when I come back live next week to talk more about this collaborative joint venture that I'm doing with You'll Know next week, I'm really excited because I will be the one teaching deeper on this and helping you to use this information to really shift your identity. Usually, if you're having an experience, like you're living a life that you're not happy with, you have to check yourself. You have to check the identity that you have been projecting, and then you need to start fine-tuning that. But if there is anyone who's, facing any sort of a trouble and you want to reach out to me, send me an email, connect@thewingedalchemist.com. Send me an email, and yeah, we can just start there. But there's just so much that's inside of me, I feel like boiling over, that I have to share with you guys. And let me just check my notes to see what else I want to get into. Or actually, let me see what some of you guys have been saying. I can see, oh, Keish. Let's see some of what you've been saying. So, okay, feeling fear is not bad. I'm going to even talk on this slightly. But Keish, thank you for being here. I'm grateful. Feeling fear is not bad. Now, I agree. But then there's feeling fear and making sure that it's in alignment with your intuition. Feeling fear and knowing that it's also in alignment with higher self, that's a different thing. That's a very different thing, because I've traveled alone to certain places, and I know the difference between fear as, I feel like there's 3 different kinds. The first fear is like, I'm definitely just afraid of what kind of experience I'll have. Or maybe I'm afraid I'm not going to enjoy myself, or I'm afraid that people are bad. Just all these limiting beliefs from stopping me from expanding, stopping me from growing as a person. Then there's fear where it's like, I'm kind of afraid to go to this place, even though I'm kind of curious about it. But also, intuition has just shown me like 7 different reasons why I need to keep my ass home. Or, like, that to me is fear, but also higher self says, computer says no. That's like that fear. And I forgot the third fear that I was even going to say, but I agree with you. Fear is a good thing. Your body will tell you, you need to watch out for these things, because remember last time you went and did this and this is what happens. That's why I'm not telling you to like, I'm asking you to align with that fear. When something is holding you back, align with it. Give it a full stage to speak to you and see what it's saying. Like, for instance, coming live. Of course I felt a little bit of fear or resistance to come live. Well, when I gave it the stage to tell me what was going on and why, it was like, well, what if I don't know how to relay my point in a good way? I can't edit it out, or I might look stupid the way I say this, or just things that are just ridiculous. But then there's, I really want to go to Tanzania. I think I want to move to Tanzania. But I don't want to do it by myself. I would prefer, higher self says, definitely move, but you'll be able to do that with somebody, so you're not alone. If you do it now, you will definitely face a lot of challenges that could be avoided. You know what I mean? Like, to me, there's just a way to assess the fear, but give it a stage. Once you've given it a stage, the fear doesn't have the power. You do. You are aspect of supreme consciousness. You are 1,000 times above that fear. Wow, you said so many things, but I love that you're interacting. Self-doubt can also be a good thing. Better to understand the feeling than repress it. Yeah. I'm more attracted to women that can be vulnerable. Okay. Yes, I practice meditation. So I've actually been a yoga teacher for like 7 years now. Um, I'm not like active yoga teacher. Most of my yoga has really been more of a personal journey for me. Like I definitely teach sometimes here where I am. Um, if there's opportunities or there's a reason for me to be somewhere to teach, definitely I'll do that. But I get more into the depths of yoga. Like I'm not just gonna do a class. I'm going to show you specific movements, breathing, visualizations, and like a whole process of how to transform consciousness or how to stay in a certain state. Like there's just a lot more depth than just simply, doing a class or instructing a class. But yes, I do practice meditation. I do get into, you know, as I was saying before, like parallel realities and how to really utilize your mindset and your inner alchemy, your energy to create your reality, to get a certain position, to go to a certain place, to be a certain person. Because we're living in a game. We are living not necessarily in a game, but this is a game to a certain extent. When you can see how much control you have over yourself, then you see how much control you have over yourself gives you so much more of a response in your outer reality. And I think that's like the thing that excites me the most. I think when I started when I quit my job at 23, I believe, like 23, my full-time job, my life has been about, okay, how am I creating my reality? What about myself do I need to change in order to achieve this? How do I need to see this in order for me to get the best result out of this experience? And it's improved my life 100%. Talk about path of least resistance, okay? Yeah, talk about path of least resistance, and I'm grateful. Doesn't mean there isn't resistance, there aren't still things to learn. Heck yeah. But I'm not seeing those things how I used to. Like they're doing something to me, like I can't. I know I have the ability, I know I have the power of choice, and that goes far beyond choosing even your environment. Like in my alchemy of gratitude, I talked about how I was detained. I was detained in the Broward, what is it even called? I can't believe it's out of my mind because it's like so many lifetimes ago. And I was detained in the detention center. Oh my gosh. And even though I was stuck in this detention center for much longer than I was supposed to, I didn't expect for this to happen. But universe put me there for good reason, story for another time. But when I was there, I couldn't get out of there. Like, again, I'm the girl with the dreams. I was having dreams of being in this place and being stuck in this place because as a soul, I felt so stuck, right? Of course, when you had plans of being somewhere else and now you're in detention center, that's scary. That's like the next level up from being in a jail. Like, look at me. I never thought I'd ever be in an experience like that. But while I was in there, again, I had to go to higher self and ask higher self, okay, why do you have me here? Because I know it's not any lower vibes that has me there. I know who's really in charge, and that's higher self, that's source. Why do you have me here? What do you want me to do? What is my assignment here? And that's exactly what I did. I tell you guys all the time, I started talking about mindset. I started leading yoga classes to help them tap into their own, like, mind and body to figure out how to get themselves out of this space that they were in, because that's what I was doing. I don't know about anybody else, but that's what I was doing. And when it came time to like really have to really rely on the ideas that higher self was giving me in my dreams, which was something that I like, it was something that I didn't think I would have been able to do. Like, I'm just this little inmate who, if I ask to speak with the manager of this facility, they don't have to speak to me. They can say, call your agent, right? But I didn't have an agent because my situation was so unique. I didn't have an agent. So for me, it's like, how do you switch your mindset and use your energy? That's what I had to use in order to get myself out of this place. Again, story for another time. If you guys are interested, comment down below. Let me know what's stuck out. And if you're enjoying this live stream and you want me to do more, just leave a thumbs up and yeah, like the video, subscribe if you're new. If you are a homie from time, dabs, thank you for joining in. But yeah, if you want to hear more about this story of mine, it's really deep. But just leave a comment down below. I did get into it in my Alchemy of Gratitude program a bit, where I broke that aspects down, because again, that entire period in my life is like a dream. It was like a prophetic experience. But yeah, guys, let me see. How long have I even been here? It's been almost an hour. But let me see.
Peace, peace. I see you, Mont.
I see you. Yeah. I see you. Let's see.
Why do I want to
Live in Tanzania. I think that's a story for another time. I've always wanted to. I think before I came to Ghana, I really wanted to go to Tanzania. And I came to Ghana because intuition, higher self said, nah, you need to start here in Ghana. So yeah, that's what I did. And I don't know, maybe I don't live in Tanzania. Maybe I just go and visit. Maybe I live somewhere else. I don't know. But what I do know is the universe has some really crazy experiences for me to experience, like it always has. I mean, even though I haven't been live or I haven't shared any videos much in the last like 10 months, life has been lifing in great ways, and I'm always in gratitude, you know? I don't look like I belong in jail. That is exactly what one of the ladies that worked there, that's it. She looked at me. She actually reminded me of Queen Latifah. This could be a whole movie. She reminded me of Queen Latifah. She came in, I was on the top bunk, and she walked into that room, and she looked at me and said, you don't look like you belong here. And I was like, I don't. I don't. I was like, I don't, sis. You are right.
You are right.
No, I'm not Ghanaian. I'm Jamaican, Canadian, but my ancestors from all over, so I belong anywhere I please, anywhere I want to belong, you know? But yeah, guys, that's all I'm sharing for today. I feel like I got what I wanted to, or what needed to be released. So again, like the video and subscribe if you're new, and come back again next week when I'm live again. Peace, y'all.